So this chapter, chapter 7, is where we go into Jewish and early Christian art. Every chapter is going to start with a set of learning objectives, and then it's going to present to you a single artwork as a sort of window into the world of the chapter. In this case, the single artwork is a cubiculum, a room in a catacomb, an underground burial place of a Roman named Commedia, a Roman Christian, because we're beginning to see art that's made in ancient Rome when Christianity is starting to spread. So this first artwork is going to introduce major themes of both Christianity as a religious tradition with the people and the stories that are central to its tradition. And then it will also introduce you to certain art historical questions about symbolism, such as the halo, and about style, talking about the narrative style of this scene on the left versus the iconic style in the center. So you'll read that important distinction. Learning about that artwork as a kind of the one artwork that, in a sense, points to all the themes that the rest of the chapter expands on. So as you move forward in the chapter, your next section will be giving you an overview of Judaism and Christianity. So you'll learn a lot about Judaism and Christianity as religious traditions with a history and a set of beliefs. And they're related to Islam. This chapter doesn't go as much into Islam because it's not yet in existence at this point. In this chapter, we're around 300 CE. So you're going to read carefully here, understanding that your task is to feel like you have a good grasp of Judaism, with the map helping you. And then also an understanding of some of the highlights of Jewish art, Jewish sacred art in the past. So they're going to go back in time here. A little quick sort of backstory of Jewish art, and then talking about how Jewish art was also painted in catacombs in Rome. That was not just a Christian phenomenon. Here, a wall painting in a Jewish catacomb, because catacombs were widely used by many different groups. They'll talk about synagogues, and I want you to pay close attention to the artwork here, the wall with Torah niche in Dura Europos, one of our early artworks of significance for our studies. And they'll give you a kind of a zoom in onto one of the scenes in that artwork, the crossing of the Red Sea, the parting of the Red Sea, with Moses parting the sea. And this wonderful artwork, a mosaic that's on the floor of a synagogue. This is actually the 6th century CE, so remember that's the 500s. So you're dealing with artworks that range from about 250 to about 500. And then as you go forward, you will be reading about early Christian art, introduced to you first through kind of a background sketch of Christianity. So understand as you move through these pages that you're taking in a lot of information. You're trying to take in enough information to feel like you have a clear picture of Judaism, enough to have a clear picture of Christianity. And then you're looking at the expression of those belief systems at specific art historical sites. Dura Europos in Syria, is one of the most important. You'll continue with this chapter, which goes on to catacomb painting and sculpture as a focal point. You'll continue with it until you come to, you won't see this in your book, until you come to this point, and you'll stop here, because we are thinking of this chapter as having two halves. The first half dealing with Judaism and Christianity when they were minority religions, making art in kind of private, somewhat secretive environments, versus when they are adopted by the ruling class of Rome and become part of the imperial propaganda world.